Hey, Eurovision fam, we are back for our weekly stream, and we are joined by our special guest, Kevin from our site, who has been doing coverage on one of the topics that we will be discussing today. That'll be Festivali Këngës. Hello, everybody. Hello, Kevin. Hello,
Hello.
Lili. How we doing?
Hello.
How we feeling?
I'm feeling like I want to punch this camera in its non-existent face.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we have to deal with it at this point because that's why we were late. Me playing around with this camera, trying to get it to behave as normal. But yeah, no, I'm feeling good. I watched Festivali Kenges yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And I am ready to watch Montesong today. Words escape my brain sometimes, and yeah, I hate this camera so much. Oh my god.
Yeah, Lily has a new setup now. Kevin, what's going on with that? How was Vic for you?
Yeah, it was good. I think as we've kind of like chatted separately, that this year is an interesting one to find like motivation and excitement for. So I think there was a bit of that in my mind, like heading into the lead up. But again, looking through a lens of this is a like country celebrating the music of their own country, and it's the 64th, I believe, right for them.
Mhm.
So I think it's nice to remember that there's traditions outside of just solely competing to go to Eurovision that you can find excitement by
Yeah.
watching these shows. But,
Mhm. Yeah,
And I
exactly.
think like the nice thing about like Festivali Kingus is that it does predate Albania even joining the big
mhm.
contest in May. So really it's like, Albania and San Remo. I mean, it has the same structure as San Remo too. So it's nice to be able to check in and watch my Albanian TV commercials and that one wedding venue. Love them. See them every year. If I'm ever getting married in Albania, that's where I'm going.
Well, and if you want a live orchestra for the wedding too, yeah, I think
Mhm.
that's part of the excitement of FIC in particular is the live orchestra component
Hmm.
that
Yeah.
really helps. I think for some songs really like elevates them, and then other songs, compared to maybe some national selections, you don't get as much of a difference between what does the studio cut sound like versus the live performance with an orchestra behind it.
Hmm.
And I know sometimes in past years, maybe some of the pop songs would struggle a little bit with translating, like how does it sound with an
Mhm.
orchestra. But I think, as always, it's a really exciting watch and fun to hear all the little like flourishes that you don't get with just like backing track.
Hmm.
Yeah. I also like that we get to watch backing vocalists hold up the lyrics on their phone.
Oh.
Um, that's always a highlight. I wait. I have to learn like what 20 something songs. It
Yeah.
makes sense that they're gonna have the lyrics on their phones. I'm right there with you, girl. Okay, so let's go ahead then, and I guess we'll start by talking about the winner. Elise
Hmm.
won with the song "Non," which translates to "mother," I believe in English when I looked it up earlier. How do we feel about this winning the whole contest?
It felt almost slated to win. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Just the camera script, the lighting, the difference in the way that Alice was carrying himself as opposed to the other acts. There was just kind of a level of certainty with his act, and I knew that he would be performing very well. And the vocally, he was able to suit the song. It didn't feel like it was outside of his repertoire or his style. Um,
Mhm.
I don't really know how I feel about the song yet. I think I might still need more time with it. I don't feel like I have an opinion quite yet. What do we think?
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I get why he won. Also, it's not
Hmm.
shocking that he came in with such confidence because he did so well last year. I
Hmm.
mean, like, what, he
Mhm.
was second or third last year, somewhere around
Third, I
there.
believe. Yes.
Third. Okay, so yeah, he had a top three finish last year. He comes in with a song that's very much what you expect to hear from Albania.
Hmm.
It's got, it's a dramatic ballad about a mother. There's some real poetry in the lyricism there as well. So it does like it checks off all the boxes of what you expect from an Albanian song,
Hmm.
and what you tune into FIC for. It does also have like a modern edge to it too. So I get why it got the victory. It wasn't my personal favorite, but everything for its win makes sense to me.
Hmm.
Mhm. And yeah, I was just looking up last year, so it did come third. but by a significant margin between like second and third. If you remember last year, it was very much down between Jerem and Carnival. And then it was a full almost 80 points back was third. So maybe that's why it's hard to kind of remember fully. But yeah, I think for me, when I first saw the song being performed, like the intro is very like of epic proportions, trying to really grab your attention. And for me, one potentially unfortunate part of the song is that the intro just reminded me of the intro to Madonna's Like a Prayer, where there's like the choir.
Yes, the orchestra version of it. Yes.
Yeah.
Like, so that just took a few minutes for me to get out of that headspace, because I was noticing it sounded very similar to that and how it builds that epic kind of choir quality off the start. But yeah, I think we can see why this one, it got first with both jury and the public. I think the jury was the closer of the two, only winning by 3 points, but then yeah, audience, it won by 14 points over second place. So I mean, and when you win with
it's not
both
like it was a
jury and
landslide
public
victory like last year. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that
points,
like the total points looks like it could be considered a landslide if it's 152 to second place got 102. But yeah, in each jury and public, I think it didn't win each of those so significantly. It was just some that did better in public didn't do as well in jury, but they did well in both.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm like, I think we have a very Festivali Kenges winning song for Festivali Kenges.
Were there any other songs second place too? A very Festivali Kenges second place.
Okay, who got second?
Enos.
Of course. I was ready for her to win because I've been waiting for her to win Festivali Kenges for a while. Honestly, it wasn't bad. It was like a little bit of a pop song there. It sounded good with the orchestra. There were choices made with the staging. But it was all really dynamic and able to be watched without like distraction. Nothing seemed like too much with that one, but I totally get why it came second.
I feel like there could have been more. I feel like at least what the choreography was seeming like was like the Go Girl Give Us Nothing in a sense. It was very kind of just boxy and forward, and it didn't quite suit the song. I feel like that might have been an ultimate detriment to the result, but it's also just, again, the camera script. What the camera was doing favored definitely more Alice than it did Enos. And but I mean, it's not all that bad of a song. It just feels very unique to her sound, Enos, because I associate her Festivali Këngës entries with being big, dynamic ballads. And this, I appreciate the risk, but she got that reliable second place that she's more or less used to. So
she'll get there one day. One day she will get there.
Well, it's a reliable like second place here, but often first place in the fandom.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds about right for her. Were there any other performances or anything else?
Sheila Zamotokas. Oh my gosh, third place. I wanted much more for that. That was my personal winner. I just thought it was so artistically significant. Just yeah, I loved it.
It's like kind of trancey mixed with like a mystical chant. It's one of my favorite songs from the playlist this year.
Me as well. But yeah, unfortunately, I think that was the one that came second with the jury. So I thought like, oh, you know what? This has a chance, but seventh with the public, only getting 28 points. So definitely dropped down, to third. When, just 3 points behind, at least on the jury, but losing ground of like almost 60 points with the public.
Wow. Third is still a great result for that, though. I'm really surprised by third.
I think it's a solid top three.
Honestly,
a very solid top three. No one seems like they're there that shouldn't be there. I'm just gonna pull up some comments here. Fancy Pants 123 says vocally Alice was perfect, but the camera and staging really could have been better. It's Festivali Këngës. Number one, the lighting. I need them to get different lighting because it's so It's the kind of lighting that hides no sins in the makeup. And that's why everyone's got it caked on. Like, yeah, I need different lighting in Festivali Kenges. Maybe one day the budget will allow for a change in lighting. Sorry.
Just a tinge of warmth. Just a tinge.
A little warmth. I mean, I say this as I have this bright white light on my face. And I can't I can't play with this light anymore. I'll figure it out later. It's a new light. All right, and then Fancy Pants 123 also says, I hated Enos's outfit so much, and that shoe mishap in semi one.
So something did happen with the shoe. So something did happen. I thought it was just like I thought I missed something, but I guess
we've all been there.
Enos's
I
outfit,
broke
the brown,
went out and about and had to go buy a pair of flip flops.
Oh my god!
I've
seems like torture.
Been running in the rain in a pair of platform, like this tall platform flip flops before, and just ate it on the concrete. I have a scar on my leg from that still, and it's been like 20 years since I did that, and I still have the scar on my leg.
Lesson learned.
What can I say? I'm a child of the 90s. I like a platform shoe, even if it's raining and I'm running in it. We've all had shoe mishaps. I get it. Mm-hmm. The outfit, it could have been worse. I think it suited the song and it suited the story being told. I'm talking about the final day outfit. It could have been worse. I thought it was okay.
I didn't find it offensive, but yeah.
I will say though that there were.
Oh, sorry.
Here we go.
Sheila was amazing.
Oh no, this is actually on the topic of Sheila. Yeah, Sheila was amazing. I found in the semifinals, Sheila, when they started bringing in the poles and the fabric, that felt really like messy in the semis, but I think they cleaned it up a lot for the finals, whether it was the camera cuts, because I was worried that took me out of the performance in the semifinals when there was like a lot of focus on the extra fabric behind and what was happening. But yeah, I think they cleaned that up a lot. But yeah, there were some, I think, entries that did look a lot more like professional and clean, whereas a few, yeah, maybe the costuming, like we could have just got a slightly more expensive looking fabric to, like, we're on TV, so we want things to read like intentional.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it kind of gave Fabric Store a little bit. I mean, I say that with endearment. This is not a drag, but you could kind of tell like what the material was not quite stage ready.
Let me tell you about Fabric. That shiny satin, baby. Woo. That shiny costume satin will always get you. As someone who's been making costumes for a long time, you can always tell who. Well, now you can't so much because people buy their costumes on the internet now. But back in my day, we had to make our costumes. And you could tell who was a newbie because they had that shiny satin. It was either that or like a really low ply cotton paplin where you could just see all the undergarments through it. You know, fabric with weight looks more expensive.
Mm.
And they needed that flowy. They needed a good amount of flow to that.
You could have flow that looks expensive, but you're going to have to spend a little more money. Like, I think I saw a guy who's in school right now, and he made a coat and had to spend thousands of dollars on the fabric alone. So, been there.
Yeah. I don't talk about fabric because I don't know all that much about it. So
yeah. Well, maybe you know a little bit more about makeup, because I feel like there was one entry at FIC that stood out for a makeup use of makeup.
You know, I mean, I'm gonna say this. That was actually one of my favorite songs going into everything.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
It was at Sarah Capo. Yeah. Like that song has like this really cool kind of like underground 90s vibe to it. And then busting out the lipstick and just smearing it all over her lips was very punk rock.
Yeah, that was art to me.
Feel like
that was art.
It was a
getting it everywhere.
Everything else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That definitely felt like one of the greatest diversions from kind of like the FIC entry, like strategic type of song. It felt like it's there to be kind of like an art piece and demonstrably different so that you pay attention to it and remember it for certain qualities. And the song itself does have a good bit of catchiness to it, so I could appreciate that one a lot.
Yeah, after the jury scores, I was a little sad because I thought it was being overlooked, but the audience, I think, placed it fourth. So much in love with it. Like I think all three of us were.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was just
The non-Albanian
see.
consumers.
Also, why 23 finalists? Albania really needs to choose what the FIC layout needs to be. It changes so often. Like just somebody participated in the previous years does not mean they should auto. Honestly, I just take it as it's based off of San Remo because look at how many finalists are. Everyone competes every night in San Remo.
But like there were maybe like 5 or 6 non-qualifiers in FIC this year. The greatest majority of folks got to perform again. And so, yeah, that kind of confused me. I had to like refer back to what the rules of FIC were every so often just to be like, do we have the right amount of qualifiers, or like, what do we acknowledge as pre-qualification? I didn't, it was kind of confusing, and it felt a little weird knowing that we only had just the smallest fraction of songs that weren't able to go through. Yeah, that was a little unusual.
Well, yeah, because it almost was in a weird way, kind of like, I'm blanking here, but was it 2023 that we started with the automatic qualifiers being in the semis?
I think so.
Yeah,
I can't fact check that, but yeah,
whatever
I'm pretty
year.
Sure.
I mean, it's only either of the last few years that that's happened, but yeah, where we have entries that are technically eligible to get eliminated or continue competing against others that are just there knowing that they're going to continue.
Yeah.
So I feel like obviously I wasn't voting. I'm not in Albania right now. But for people who were, yeah, I wonder how it plays into things that there's only 5 contestants in the semifinal 1 and then 5 in semifinal 2 that are actually eligible to advance or not. So yeah, I wonder how that plays into things.
It's confusing.
100%.
It was confusing.
And then
but I mean, that's also because we don't speak the language either. It was probably explained in Albanian, and then
maybe, yeah, I assume it's just a case of like there were 10 like newcomer entries split 5 in semi 1, 5 in semi 2, and then across the 2 semifinals, 5 of the 10 made it.
It's almost like they're speed running San Remo Giovanni, like what the theory of that is in the actual contest itself with these semifinals. And yeah, it was kind of odd. Fancy Pants says, get into the final. That's not fair whatsoever to the newbies. It's not really fair. It's not really fair. It feels weird because it almost senses like we're excusing or we're making exceptions for like a good huge chunk of people, and then there is an exclusion zone that only a few basically don't make it to the final. And yeah, I'm not quite sure how I feel about that. Or
I mean, yeah, you mentioned San Remo Giovanni. Maybe in the future we'll just see like a FIC Giovanni situation or something else like that. Because remember, like with EMA, they had EMA Fresh for a while. So like maybe we'll see like a newcomer situation moving forward, because it does feel like a lot of the changes they make with Festivali Kenges are kind of based off of what San Remo does. And what San Remo Giovanni has only been around for what, 5-6 years?
To that effect. Well, I mean, I believe there was a San Remo Giovanni at least in 2017, because I remember I liked one of their songs that year was actually my favorite of the year for Italy.
Yeah. So
yeah, I feel like there's a lot of countries that I think are like changing up their national finals in the last few years. And yeah, it also reminds me of, was it Estilal, where they had a bunch of songs that were competing for just a few final last places in the finals. And I know amongst the fandom, that was generally not like a beloved system, because there were a lot of really great songs that didn't advance. Meanwhile, over half the finals were songs that people did not love. So yeah, I feel like if you are going to have people automatically already qualifying or making the final, yeah, I feel like a lot of them do this system of like newcomers versus established. But is that even like a successful strategy?
No.
I guess it depends how
Let's
they're
be
defining
honest.
success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
no,
I don't
safer
love
because
it.
you know what to expect, but I feel like a lot of these song contests aren't about finding like a safe song.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of established acts are not always the best option. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I am going to go ahead and close that comment down. Let's talk about Montesong because that
All
kicks
right.
off in about 32 minutes. I can't see my clock. I don't have my glasses on.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got Montesong coming up. And Jordan, you want to quickly talk about the article you wrote for the site?
Yes. So, you guys, the article that is up on the site right now is basically just kind of an explainer of how the show is going to go. I do list the artists who are going to be competing and the way that the vote is going to be broken down. So, at the end of the show, which follows the stream immediately, we're going to be able to discuss who had won based off of a combination of international. Public vote, Montenegrin public vote, and jury vote, a professional jury vote, split as 50% jury, 25% Montenegrin public vote, 25% international public vote. I did see a bit of the rehearsals, and I have not quite addressed those yet. I kind of do want everyone to be surprised by the by the effect of the show that's about to happen. But to kind of list the artists who are going to be performing this evening, we have Lara Baltic with Rhythm Boy opening the show, followed by Stefan singing Nedeko Dirana, followed by Mila Nikic with Kauvarnica, Majda Bojovic with Ipak Smoljudi, Christina with Oli Oli, Barjak returns with the song Minerva, Nino Muric with the song Ako Čuješ Glas, Lana with the song Doline, Georgia returns with Dominoes, Dulcehera returns with Casanova 91, Tamara Živkovic returns with Nova Zora, Andrea Demirovic is in the contest with I Believe. Tina Jankic returns with Shadows. Luka Radovic returns with Pievaj Vilo. And Lana and Georgia are performing Temperatura to close the show. So those are the 15 acts we'll see perform. And yeah, we're going to get another song by the end of this. So do you guys have any thoughts, any questions about the show before we kind of get into the nitty gritty of it?
I want to just say this is this is so well improved on last year, like a dramatic improvement.
Is it because there's less ballads?
I don't know.
Is that why?
No, I just think the song quality is better too.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know who it was who was like, oh, it's like a solid year from Pesma. I was like, yeah, it's giving a Pesma year.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. It's just last year was kind of abysmal, and kind of a mess. But that's okay.
I loved it.
There's a couple of songs in here. I should have looked up songwriters. So like, this sounds like a Melfest situation. I'm looking at you, Dominoes. That sounds like it came straight out of Melfest.
King of Queens, Run to the Hills.
Yeah.
What's another one that kind of fits that font?
I see.
Something
Melanie,
by
is it Melanie Weeby? Or
Melanie Weber, yeah.
Web is a lyricist on Dominoes, so not a bad guess.
So,
is this what you wanted?
And
I was right.
Yeah. Melanie Weber, like she is going to, I think, take the spot that we associate with Laurel Barker. I feel like that will become her role.
Our Canadian
later on.
queen.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Your Canadian queen, one of your proud expats.
I thought she was from Atlanta for the longest time. I don't know what it was, but I thought she. I for some reason heard that she was from Atlanta, Georgia, and I was like, okay, I wasn't expecting that. Canadian makes more sense, given the kind of like music that she writes, and occasionally the inflection in the accent, very occasionally. Okay, Canadian, but yeah, she's not from Georgia. The country nor the state, but Melanie Weber.
I say this. I am trying to think of how to say this in the nicest way possible. She has a Canadian energy to her. Like you know what I mean?
I could see it's a Canadian who like temporarily lived in Atlanta for like 3 months, and then it's like I learned so much, and now I'm going to use it.
Or like
maybe
like when you're watching TV, you'll have like Canadian actors in a lot of because everything's filmed in Canada. Like you'll have Canadian actors, and you're like, oh yeah, like it's like watching Degrassi. It could take place in the U.S., but it's distinctly Canadian.
Yeah. Yeah, like if they went on a trip, they might get mistaken. But
yeah, exactly. Like
But it would find, yeah, you'd find out.
Yeah, like no one know, it's not like my brother who's from the US but sounds Canadian. It's really weird. Really weird accent that boy has. I don't know where to explain it.
Spiritually Canadian.
Yeah. Like he sounds like he's from Alberta. It's like
Okay.
distinctly that sound. It's very odd. Right. Anyway, enough about Laurel Barker in Canada. Yeah, so what are some of your favorites going into Montesong?
Do you guys have any favorites? Because I could discuss mine a little bit, but since
So-
I'm covering it, I want to hear some opinions from y'all.
Okay, well,
I
I
think
can start by saying I actually have not listened to anything yet.
Okay.
This is the first national final in a while that I'm like going into completely not knowing anything. Other than I did look up just to see the was it on like Eurovision World where people can rank things, just see like are there songs that have a few stars out there, and it seems like there were at least 4 or 5 that I think had 4 stars or higher. So I think that's
I
pretty
have
good
the
sign.
Eurovision World ranking pulled up right now. Looking here, the favorites on Eurovision World are Nova Zora by Tamara Djokovic and Temperatura with Lana and Georgia. Those both have 5 stars. But then I'm looking at other stuff. Like I didn't mind the Stefan song, what, Nere Koderiana? That's only got 2 stars on here, but I think that's just because it's such a Balkan ballad sound.
It's so Balkan. It is so heavily Balkan. And I like it because of that. It has that really nice classic style to me. I like that song a lot.
I think that with Arbayak, Minerva is an improvement on last year's song they had. I definitely like Minerva better.
Ooh,
I think
okay.
so. But I like their song last year a lot too. But again, that one on Eurovision World, they're ranked only like what is that? 3.5 stars? Because it's like a heavy rock song. And Eurovision fans don't tend to go for that kind of a sound.
And especially like right at this point, the people who are ranking songs are the people who are most invested in like know that this exists and are finding it before the competition too.
Yeah. Let's see here. I want to study Dolce Hera's mind personally because she fascinates me. I feel like she'd be so much fun to hang out with. And like she just fascinates me like as an artist between like last year, which Disaster Bop.
One of the greatest pieces of art I've ever seen. Like I was changed after that performance.
I can hear it in my head right now. Yeah. It's just so catchy.
And then she's giving us Italian language disco this year. Okay.
And wait until you see how this is staged. you're gonna like cackle like crazy. She is some kind of artistic genius, like, and she is not afraid of anything. She's one of those people where it's just if you're playing checkers, she already won chess. When you start chess, she already won mahjong. Like you can't keep up with her. Like you need
not mahjong.
Like it's hard to keep up with her, but that's not the point. She's here to provide that distinct experience that you can only get in Montenegro. Dulce Hair, like Casanova 91, it's just such a bop. Like it is such a bop. I love it so much.
Yeah.
And you were saying the word like returns a lot. And sometimes when you have so many returning people, it's like we want fresh, we want new. But I wouldn't be upset with them returning every single year and giving us a different, confusing, exciting. That's a great question.
Sorry.
Right there. Yeah.
What? I haven't looked at any of the rehearsal footage. What?
I didn't pick that up specifically, Fancy Pants. I didn't see exactly specifically that. We might have watched a different part, but I do kind of see what you mean by that, and I want to see what else happens in the staging because I was baffled. I was once again like, what do you mean? But the potato sack dress, like that will forever be like top 10 national final moments to me, period.
I mean, prior to World War II, there was the Great Depression, and people made flour sack dresses. So,
is she
her mind?
Is she thinking
her mind?
Well, I feel like this is a bigger transition, like potato sack to World War II soldier is somehow a bigger transition than like what was it, Wild Youth to Bambi Thug.
That might be onto something. Honestly, you might be
Blow
onto
up.
something.
That worked out well
Yeah.
for them. So
So who knows
We might be different.
where
We might
that's
be
going.
unique.
I'm trying to
well,
see was
didn't work out
another.
for them, but
God, I'm sorry. I still can't unsee the camel toe. Every time I think about that song, camel toe comes into my mind's eye.
No one
Um,
stopped that. There were so many people who saw that before it was about to go on, and no one said anything.
Why couldn't
They
we get
let that.
Homie a dance belt? Just a dance belt would have fixed it. Where were they at that year? That was what? What country was that?
23 Ireland.
yeah.
That was in the UK. You telling me Liverpool didn't have a dance studio you guys could have ran to get a dance belt? Because Luxembourg ran over to the store and got another Yaki pony to put into Homegirl's hair. You guys couldn't find a dance belt somewhere.
Well, at that point, they were also not expecting to do super well. So maybe they were just exploring all options to grab attention.
So
Attention was grabbed, all right.
In the cosplay world, we have to remind men to wear dance belts when they cosplay as superheroes constantly. Why? Because in the 2000s, we had a guy who cosplayed as Robin who had a similar issue because he decided not to wear a dance belt. He is now forever known as Boner Robin for that reason. And if you're going to be wearing something very tight in that region, we need a dance belt. Okay?
I mean, yes, agreed.
We need a dance belt put there.
I don't think there's a case in this Montesong where we're going to run into that kind of trouble, I will say.
I hope
That's
not.
good.
Right, we have to focus on Montesong.
Yeah. I hope
I'm
not.
looking at I'm looking at what some of the favorites are. Like we already mentioned two of them, Temperatura and Nova Zora. It looks like another favorite is Rhythm Boy, which I get from like the fandom point of view. It just doesn't connect with me personally. It's very Latin pop vibes.
To be honest with you, like I think that song could be any girl in any national final. You could have switched that hook out with any lyrics. And
yeah.
I see why it attracts people, but I also feel like the people it attracts aren't longtime Eurovision fans. I don't feel like they're seasoned enough to be able to enjoy the things that this has worked from which this has worked off their template. I don't think it would be performed badly. I think it is going to be fun ultimately, but as a song, it's not quite hitting those spots for me because we've seen this iteration before with stronger elements to it in other selections. But again, I could be judging too quickly because I have not seen the full number yet.
Yeah. And then looking here as well, Oli Oli is another one of the favorites on the site. Again, I get why the site's kind of like going there.
Kind of
I'm
a disaster bop.
Eurovision fans are some of the most predictive people on earth.
Mm-hmm.
So predictable sometimes. You're like, oh yeah, this is what you guys are gonna like. Sorry. And then the other one that's kind of in the top 5 on the site amongst the fans is Dominoes, which we've talked about, and that just sounds like it's straight up from Melfest. So it is an improvement on last year, but also doesn't have like that.
So I was just going to say I was on the scoreboard app just to double check, and yeah, the 5 top are the same 5 that are also on the scoreboard app. So it seems like at least the fandom has picked their top 5.
I can't
That's
wait
good.
for it to be a winner.
I wonder if
like
we're going to get
like
a clickbait situation again. I wonder if there's going to be something like at the last second, just a points fiasco where Vladana is going to have to monologue to the press about what should and shouldn't have happened. I felt bad for her last year, but she does seem to have a renewed sense of confidence this year. She seems more secure, more seasoned, more experienced. And this list of songs does feel way more diverse. just ultimately too.
Yes.
And
Hmm.
yeah, I can appreciate even just that going into the show.
Honestly, I can't wait to see what Vladana's wearing, because every time she
Right?
shows up and she's dressed, like, she's one of the fashion girlies for me.
Hmm.
Um, and she's curated. She brought back this national final. Like, let's applaud her, man. Like, she's brought back this national final. Last year was a mess. She managed to wrangle everything back up again this year and make it better. If we keep seeing this, I hope next year would be even better than this year is from them. You
Hmm.
know,
Yeah,
yeah.
you
Like
know, something
I'm.
I've noticed is that like we're getting a lot of veterans of Eurovision who are now executive producers
Mhm.
or artistic producers for their national finals. That includes Jamala, that includes El Haidadani, and Vladana is also within that group of ladies who decided to take the reins. And it
Mhm.
is curating an ultimately different experience. I'm really excited for the show because Vladana has the energy, she has the excitement, and the fashion, as you were saying. Not a single thing she wore in the 2022 season did I find to be any way underwhelming or ugly. She understood more than understood the assignment every time.
I need her and like Hera Bjork, not Hera Bjork. Oh my god, Dolce Hera to team up and just bring us like some kind of bizarre like fashion line out of like. I just feel like the two of them together working artistically in some kind of capacity of visual
You could
stimula.
keep the Bjork from the hair of Bjork, and then I think that would add like a fun component
Oh,
that
that would just
could work.
add absolute chaos. Um,
But Dulce Hera
yeah.
could pull it off. I feel like just give her a laptop and maybe a month or so, and she can give us something. She can give us something crazy.
I have some LED lights that are like for sewing into stuff next to me. Um, that could be fun. I
But yeah,
don't
I
know
think
if
that
I'm
is
going with that.
a great point that you do bring up, though, that I think that's another way to still have a lot of excitement about the direction that things are going is when you see people who are contestants and like
Hmm.
know the benefits of these kinds of events, not through the lens solely of like the EBU putting on Eurovision, but it helps you get excited about these national finals because it's someone who's like passionate about the culture of music in their
Yeah.
own country.
Mhm.
So I think it's really exciting, and probably we might see even more of that now. That particularly from the countries that might be trying to slightly separate themselves from like the EBU brand and make it very much that this is our like national song contest.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like, I'm so looking forward to where Vidbeer goes this year. Like, I just looked at that list of like who's already on the show, and I'm just like, oh,
It
things are
was
going
the
to be
fact
good.
that Jamala said, "This isn't good, you guys. We gotta reassess. We gotta get it together." Like I trust that woman. I deeply trust that woman to take care of it. And the fact that
Hmm.
she now is being able to take the reins on all of this, like it's just refreshing. It's refreshing to know that Ukraine keeps it pretty serious. And
Hmm.
yeah, Jamala, I look forward to. I look forward to her production style, all of that, and I feel like she's gonna be like premiering some new music too at Vidbeer. I just get the
Of
sense
course,
because I've been
give it
hearing
to
a couple
me.
teasers. I think they were
Give it to me,
teasers,
please.
but yeah,
Yeah,
directly into my
please,
veins,
please, and
please.
thank you.
Yeah. Hmm.
All
All
right,
right,
so
so yeah.
guys, you've got what time is it? I can't see. 44, 16 minutes
145, yeah.
until
We have
Montesong
about
starts.
uh-huh.
I have a link in the description box to the live stream. You guys can head
Hmm.
on down there. Next week we'll be talking about the winner from Montesong. I don't know what else we're going to talk about next week. Frankly, nothing's really happening between now and then. Um, so we'll
Yeah,
see
it
what's
is a
going on.
little bit of a dead spot until we get into like the weeds for the 2026 quote unquote season. And that's because yeah, the other shows are going to be happening a little bit later this year.
Mhm.
Early spring, late winter is just kind of the typical schedule of it, but yeah, with a couple countries not present will be pretty interesting.
Well,
Yeah, because I
yeah,
think we
I think
have. I think the first show after this will be second week of January. So we've got a couple of slow weeks. We'll work out what we're going to talk about. Maybe we'll start dipping our toe into some of these national final songs that have dropped that we haven't talked about yet.
Yeah, it looks like I'm just looking. January 4th, Greece announced their artists. And then the 14th, you get UMK, the actual artists, and not just the hints. We'll see if anyone has used the hints correctly to guess. I don't know if that's even possible. There's so many
they
options.
had like hints? What?
Yeah, so UMK, I believe they've done this at least for a couple of years now. Will release a list of like, here are our competing acts, but it'll just have like a small hint about them. Like this
They've
is
done
a
that at least for the
worldwide
last 2
artist.
years. Yeah.
Mhm.
I like the hints, but they aren't always the most detailed. They always leave me wanting. Always. The way they're written is so intentional.
Yeah, they're written in a way to get you to interact. They're very effective at what I think the purpose of them is to like get excitement. But yeah, some people will take it and try to actually guess who all of the artists are. Then Malta's semifinals January 15th, and then yeah, Vidbeer, they have the online wildcard artist on the 15th as well.
And how many wildcard acts are going to be competing for that spot?
Just one.
Oh, how many?
Oh, sorry. So competing
to compete for the spot? Yeah.
Just
I should know this
because they know how to.
Probably
they know how to keep
like
it.
18, something like that. Because the long list is what, 20 people? It's maybe 10 or 11.
I love me some like bloodbath before we get into the actual show of it. And Vidbeer always provides that, and they generally also provide with the wild card one of my favorites of the show. Like Finca, you did that.
Yes, I was thinking of Finca.
Thank you, Finca.
I love her.
Thank you, Finca.
She's so much
so
fun.
It's actually going to be only 6 wild cards. But yeah, I think one of the last times there were a lot of wild cards. But yeah, so it's
okay. 6 I feel like is manageable.
Jamala did
I recognize
some
the one artist. I forget. They've definitely been at KHAYAT.
Kayat.
Yeah, Kayat.
Yeah. He's done pretty well. Didn't he come second at one point?
I'm just trying to remember what.
I'm mixing him up with somebody.
No, that does sound correct. It sounds correct. I'm not fact checking that right now, but yes, it does sound correct. I'm not like
here. No, I'm looking at the wild card list right now because I'm curious. Like,
it was Call for Love. Okay, in my head it was like, was that Call for Love? But then I was like, no, it's not. It was Call for Love. That Kayat.
Honestly, I could see Kayat getting the wild card because he's a pretty big artist.
And he can perform. He knows how to work the stage correctly. So I would not have any doubts of his ability to put on a nice show if he does get selected.
Yeah, no one else in the list. I was like, oh, I know who that is. You know what I mean? Of the wild cards, but we'll see it soon enough. I think he came second. I'm trying to figure this out.
Okay, yes. Last
year he finished second in 2020 and fourth in last year. Okay,
but you're right because it was a tie for how Ukraine does. They're like, we're going to change the points and switch them into 10-1. So there was a 3-way tie at 16 points. So technically tied for second, but on the tiebreaker drops to 4th last year. But that's like tied for second or better results. So
yeah.
All right. So best of luck to the wild cards for Vidbeer.
Silently. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. We'll call it a day now. You guys got about 10 minutes here to get ready for Montesong. We'll be back next week, same time, and hopefully I will not have as many technical issues. I'm still working on making this computer work. Like you guys, it's huge. I don't know what I did to fix that.
Hey, maybe you'll find out the exact reason why.
I'm still trying to figure out why my second monitor doesn't want to work. So we've got a lot
if we have any great IT people watching, type in the chat, give us some advice.
Let us know.
It's like, what is this thing hate? Yeah, it's also massive. Like I haven't had a computer this big since like the 90s. So that's fun. But I do have a lot of RAM, so that means I could edit faster.
Oh yeah.
And I have an
We love
upgraded
extra RAM.
graphics card. Woohoo! That's the only reason I bought a new computer. Because of the
For the
RAM
graphics card?
situation. No, RAM. So yeah, I will cut this short before I start rambling about computer specs. And we will see you guys next week.
We will see you guys after our second song.
Yes, wow.
Oh, true.
Right?
True, so yeah.
Okay.
Jordan, I'm gonna hang up on you.
No, that's fine.
Not if we do it
Yeah,
first.
thank you for joining us. If you enjoyed the stream, don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll be back next week. So bye guys.
Bye guys.
Have
See you
a
next
good
time.
Christmas.
Have a good
Yes,
Christmas.
happy holidays.
Happy holidays all.